you're here. Yeah, we're so glad you're here. Oh, we're so glad to be together in unity. We're so glad you're here. All right.
How is everyone? Suddenly got very quiet.
What is smarter than a talking bird? A spelling bee.
I'm keeping my face neutral so that doesn't come back to haunt me.
You know, there's a lot of talk about going to the moon these days. Did you hear about the first restaurant to open on the moon? Had great food, but no atmosphere. Do you know why scientists don't trust atoms? Because they make up everything. One last one. What do dentists call their x-rays? Toothpicks. See, you had to think about that one. That one was deep, wasn't it? That was deep. Tell the person next to you, say, that was deep. All right, you know what we're talking about today? 4 Agreements. 4 Agreements. Great book written by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he was an enlightened guide of distilling the Toltec philosophy. And so we're going to be basing what we talk about for the next 4 Sundays on this book.
How many have read this book? Oh, good. So
All
you're
right.
familiar with it. How many are you living
How
by
many
the
are
4
practicing
guidelines in
it?
this book? How
2
many-
or 3.
How
Okay.
many could use being reminded?
So, what is the first agreement?
Yes. Be impeccable with your words.
The word impeccable means in accordance with the highest standards of propriety to be faultless.
Ooh.
Say with me, ooh. Oh. How many know you got to have a goal? You have to have an ideal that you're reaching for, right? Now, we strive for perfection every day, but we don't do it, right? But that's okay because we have a goal. We have something that we're reaching toward, that we're stretching our spiritual muscles in order to be able to continue to grow and to change, right? How many are different than you used to be? Anybody here? You're not the same person that you were. Yeah. I mean, no, that's a good thing because that means you're growing. You're growing. And that's a beautiful thing. Yep. Now, in John 1:1, it talks about this idea of the Word becoming flesh or physical. And the Greek word there is the word logos. Okay? It's where we get the word logic from. It is the embodiment. How many know that you are embodying this world as a spiritual presence shining and coming through a physical form? Say it with me. Ooh. Is that right? Yes, it's exactly right. You are the logos, the word inside of that physical body, which means you have a divine blueprint. You have a divine essence. Make sense? And the key to this life is to log into the logos, right? To get connected with it, to allow it to express through you, right? To get out of the way. I mean, sometimes we can get in the way of our own good. Of course, nobody here has ever done that. See, it's those empty chairs. Those are the people we're talking about. We're going to hit them hard this morning, too, aren't we? Because it's not us, not moi. No. Why? So they're the ones that need to be here today. That's for sure. But this logos is a divine thought, divine intelligence. It is divine activity. How many know that your body moves, right? Why is it that I can move my arm? What do you think in a physical way? Yeah, I've got bones and I've got structure, I've got tendons, I've got joints, I've got all that. But that's not what is the activity, what makes it move. There's an intelligence that knows exactly how it needs to move. Now, if it just went like that, it wouldn't serve any purpose, would it? But now I can reach and pick up this glass. I can wish Leah a happy anniversary today. We've been married for 2 years now, right? Seems like only yesterday. What do you think? Am I doing good?
Well, I think another great example of that, the activity, is the fact that when you go to sleep at night, your heart continues to beat, your lungs continue to take air in and out,
Yeah.
and we don't have to think about that.
Right.
It's just that sacred divine activity breathing us and living us. I think that's a good example too.
It's that working power. It's constantly moving. It's constantly working on the inside. And your blood, how many gallons of blood flow through your body every day? It's amazing, isn't it? And all of this happens on an unconscious level. We're not conscious of it, but there is this divine activity that's going on. You cannot be any more full of God than you are right now, right? Because God is the very essence of your being. God is your ability to speak and think and talk and act and do the things that you do. You are a divine being. Just settle into that, right? Just make up your mind. I'm a divine being, and that's just the way it is, right? Thank you very much. So, the Word of God, the Logos, is love in action. See, everything that comes from the divine is love, okay, or loving. And it's not just enough for me to tell Leah, I love you, don't you? And on our anniversary next year, I'll tell you the same thing. Right? No. It's a continuous thing. Right?
I see how you snuck that back in there again.
What's that?
The anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just appreciating you on your anniversary.
My anniversary.
And my anniversary. How many know God is good? When? All the time, right? Yeah. And Jesus the Christ knew this, and he constantly aligned himself with that all-loving goodness of God, right?
I'll back up and just say that you made such an important statement. I don't want it to get glossed over because it was a really...
I did? Oh, what did I say?
It's a really big statement. That you are already 100%. You can't have any more God in you than you already have. Think about that. That's huge. Now, there's a lot of room for all of us to let that potential and that Christ out, manifest, display it in our lives. But you can't get any more God than you already are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's one less thing that we have to strive for or that we have to, worry about.
Religion has tried to tell us that God is some guy in the sky on a cloud somewhere, sitting in a big chair with a button, an annoyance button. Like, I sure don't like the way they're doing right now. I don't like what they're saying. And every once in a while I push that button. How many? That's right. But there is no God like that.
No.
That is just something the ego has created. It's a projection of the ego onto something that we don't really understand.
Right.
The divinity is a mystery. It's a divine mystery. And it is up to you to discover what it is throughout your life. Yeah. It's a journey, right? You don't just get it all at once. I've got it all figured out now. Whenever you meet someone like that, what do you want to do?
Run. Oh.
Exactly. You want to run. People that think they have it all figured out, oh, sure, right. Heard that song and dance before, haven't we? So, yeah. How many want clarity in your life? Would you like more clarity? Well, the 4 agreements help with that. Mm-hmm. Especially number 1. This first one is the biggie. Yeah. Okay? The 4 agreements are essential to living a life in alignment with your unique purpose. Sometimes it's hard to be in alignment with our purpose because we're not in what? Alignment with ourselves. That was pretty good, I thought. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. So, here's a quick breakdown of the first agreement and ways that you can practice it in your life. I know it's got to be practical. Unity is practical spirituality, right? It's not just theory and, we do that sometimes, don't we? We all love doing that. But that's not what it is. It's not just some conspiracy theory that I think this happened and that happened. But, I heard from this guy who knew this guy who heard this other guy who said maybe they thought that something happened, right? No, this is practical. In other words, you can prove it to yourself. Prove it to yourself, right? And that's what it's all about. Yeah. So, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's important to be impeccable with your words, but it's also important to be impeccable with your thinking. Did you get that? With your thinking, since thoughts are words that you hear on the inside. Our words and thoughts can become habits or beliefs, and sometimes conscious, but many times unconscious. Many times unconscious. So what does it mean to be impeccable with your words?
Well, in the book, Ruiz describes it like this. He says, speak with integrity, speaking with integrity, honesty, truthfulness. Say only what you mean. Speak of what you desire and what you want.
So I bring this back to the words of Myrtle Fillmore, who said, don't ever let a word come out of your mouth that you don't want to come to pass. Be impeccable with your words.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was, it was so stupid of me to do that. I can be so stupid sometimes. Where's that buzzer? Right? The things that we say about others, but the things that we say about ourselves.
Right.
That negative self-talk that we let run. So never, and our friend Armand often would say, never say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to a 5-year-old. Wow.
That's because we are 5 years old in many ways.
Yeah.
So avoid speaking negatively about yourself and others. Use your words in a positive direction of truth and loving kindness. Make sense? That's what you want to do. But James, you don't understand. Sometimes I get around my political friends and they're all wrong about everything. And I want to straighten them out. Well, here's what you do. You want to know how to talk to your wonderful friends that don't agree with you on whatever it is? Speak your truth. Say it in love, right? If you're going to talk to somebody about politics, use facts. Don't just say, well, I think that he's right and he's wrong and she's this and no. you're coming from a very emotional place, and that's not going to help anything, right? But just you say what you need to say. This is why I'm voting this way. You don't have to. You can vote however you want to vote. How many know people can vote however they want to vote? Because guess what? They're going to anyway. Right? So all you can do is state what you feel or believe that is the truth. And if you can state obvious, truths or facts or information, then, you have somewhere to stand. Your words are impeccable. But if you're just out there just to try to get them, just to make them look bad and make yourself look good, right? What's that about? How many know that's ego? Say with me, that's ego. Right? Need to let go of that ego, right?
Or just make an agreement not to talk about it at all.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying but people want to. People want to talk about it. So if you're going to, you have to do it with integrity. You have to do it with the idea that you're not trying to force your opinion upon anybody, but you just want to share what you're understanding, what you have learned. You could be right, and you may not be right, right? How many always have given yourself a little room to be inaccurate at times? Right? Oh, you're shaking your head. Okay, sorry. This is for the people that are not here today, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what does Proverbs say?
Proverbs?
Yes.
Oh, that death and life are in the power of the tongue? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that those who love it and indulge it will eat its fruit and bear the consequences of their words.
Ooh. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So whenever you hone in on somebody and you condemn them, you criticize them, what are you doing? You're speaking death. You're speaking death to them. When you do that to children, when you do that to people, they've discovered that even your plants, they love it when you talk to them. Now, if you scream at them and you project negative energy toward them, you know what? They wilt. It's been proven through various studies that even plants want to be loved and appreciated, right? How many know your dog wants to be loved and appreciated? Your cats want to be loved and appreciated. Trees want to be loved and appreciated. We had a tree fall on our car a couple weeks ago. We did.
Wasn't very impeccable with my words.
How many know that stuff happens in life? Stuff happens. So what do? You get mad and you say, the universe is against me. Hitting my car with, no, the universe is not against you. It was just a happening. How many know stuff happens sometimes? What do you do with what happens? Well, you call the insurance company, you rent a car, and then you go about your business. Or you can make it an issue, right? You can get upset about it, and, or you just go with whatever happens, And that's what I've learned. I would prefer to be at peace no matter what happens, right? So in the moment we were like, but then we realized, okay, this has happened before. We hadn't had an accident or an event happen for what, 10 years?
I don't know,
10, 15 years? Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah. Ruiz says that your words are like magic. He says you can use your words to create good in the world or to create chaos and spread negativity. We certainly see that all the time, don't we? We know that that's true. We know that we can use our words to help people or to hurt people, to improve a situation or to bring a situation into further chaos. We know that we can do that.
Yeah.
Our words are very important.
They really are.
Yeah, they're like magic. But it's like back to that, when we criticize someone else and that's like throwing out poison, the thing about that is that it's not so much that it's affecting the other person, it's clogging this up. It's creating blocks in myself. It's creating that chaos and that poison within myself. And so I want to keep this clear, right? So that impeccability with our words is part of being able to keep ourselves clear. And then, using your words as a balm, as a healing agent, as opposed to something that destroys or brings down or criticizes or negates or degrades people to the point that they're not even human beings anymore. Right? We can talk about people in really horrendous ways.
Yeah.
That is a piece of you. That is a part of you. When we degrade people, when we criticize to the point that we're just spewing out hateful stuff, you're doing it to yourself. That is you in another form. Because we are all connected, we are one in spirit, and what I do to another, I'm really doing to myself.
Because when I use bad energy, when I use negative energy, and that's what's happening, then it leaves me feeling bad. Then I feel bad, right? Mm-hmm. And out of alignment.
Mm-hmm. And trust me, I get it. It feels real good in the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
I sure told them.
Yeah, it's like an adrenaline boost or whatever. It feels real good in the moment, but it is toxic to your overall being. And then you just wind up, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I act like that?
Well, you can tell if you're creating good energy or bad energy by tuning into how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. If you're feeling less than in the moment, how many know that hits us? Anybody here ever suffer from the Moody Blues? It's a rock band. No, they, being moody sometimes. Because the energy, what? It goes up and then it goes down. That's just the natural wave of things. See, people think we're supposed to be high energy all the time. No, you'll burn your adrenals out, right? It's going to move up and down. It's going to flux. It's going to flow. There's going to be times when you're just going to feel like, just kind of neutral, just kind of, and we have to learn to let that be okay. I don't have to be entertained every moment of every day. Right? Yeah. Now, when I'm a teenager, I expect it. Mom, I'm bored. Right? But as you get older, you realize, no, the world is not there to cater to your every whim. How many have learned that? Okay.
And what you can
One
learn,
or two.
what you can learn to do is when you have those times when you're feeling a little, let's call it being under the weather spiritually. You're feeling a little, in the blue or a little moody or whatever. Maybe that's a great time to learn to say less. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I have times.
You do you.
Well.
No, I'm just kidding.
If I know I'm in that space, then part of what I can do is not compound it by spewing out stuff that maybe I'm going to have to clean up later.
Yeah.
So just learning to say less, but say more when you say something. Does that make sense? Speak less, but when you say something...
What? They're egging me on. I can't help it.
I think this is a good point. Speak less, but when you say something, make sure that what you're saying is worth someone hearing. Make sure that it's good, that it's pleasant, that it's... She gets me. She's shaking her head. You're with me, right? Yeah. So speak less, but say more. Thank you. You get it.
So, there you go. When you're speaking from integrity, you're speaking more from the positive good. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
You're coming from integrity, and it feels true to you. It feels right. It feels like, oh, yeah, this is this. If you feel bad, you're thinking and speaking without integrity in a way that doesn't feel true to you, right? And so that's what's important. In the scriptures, it says in Luke, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak, right? Whatever is filling you up on the inside is what's going to come out. And how many know there are times when you just need to let it out, right? You don't want to bottle things up. This is the balance of all of this, okay? There are times when maybe you need to complain. It's just don't go out and complain to everybody, right? Have a safe space where you can go. And, I knew a guy who was a hunter. He said the reason he liked to hunt, he said he didn't really hunt. He just walked around with a gun looking like he was going to do something, but never did anything. I guess that's what hunting is anyway. But anyway, it's this idea of, finding a reason to get out the stuff, that you've got bottled up on the inside, that anger, that fear, that tension. See, if you can stop in the moment and get a feeling, get a read on your feelings, then you can feel the tension. And you say, oh, I didn't realize that was there. And then you pull from it and you say, okay, all right, yeah, I see it. I'm a little tense. I don't know why. How many understand you don't have to know why that you're uptight? You're just like a wave of the ocean. You just you went there, right? You're just there. So you just go, okay. And you breathe through it. And then you pray. And you may start your prayer off like this. Dear God, I feel like I hate people right now. I feel like I just don't love my life. I feel this, I feel that. And then you get it out. You get it out, Because how many know God doesn't care what you say, right? God is not judging you. Isn't that wonderful to know? You're not being judged. Because the divine knows you just need to get it out. You just need to get it out. And then you can move slowly into more affirmative prayer. Well, you know what? I realize that maybe I feel a little down, but I know that within me I have the potential and the capacity to be excited, to be joyful, to be at peace. So I claim my peace. I claim my excitement, right? But it's okay to get it out. Because, the steam has got to have somewhere to go, right? What are those, your mom used to use the pressure cooker? Yeah. And that thing, you think it was going to explode. It was, and steam's coming out of it, and it's just, wow. And but boy, the food was really good, after it was done. And so we all need a way to release the pressure. A little valve that you can open up and say, okay, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling, just be honest, because you're already feeling that way. Do you want to change it? Get it out. Get it out. Yeah. But be impeccable with your word, remembering that God is power and that you are powerful or full of that power. To use your words of truth to make them the abundance of good, all right? The good that's in your heart, and that you also want to pass on that abundance to other people, right? You want to share from the abundance. See, thoughts and words are choices. Learning how to think and speak in a way that feels good. How many want to feel better? You want to feel better? And speak in a way that feels good. Think in a way that feels good. Does it make sense? And then you can start creating what you desire and begin to add immense value to your life. That's what we're talking about. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Are there people in your life that you need to talk to? Say what you need to say. How many know you need to be honest and forthright? But just do it in the right spirit. Do it because it feels good rather than the other way, right? Yeah. So words can heal. Oh, words can heal. I've learned that over the years. Yeah. Somebody says to you just the right thing in the moment, and it changes you, right? It helps you to shift. We see a lot of shifts around here. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing. Pearl Hurd said, handle them carefully, for words have more power than atom bombs. But it takes practice, doesn't it, Leah?
It does. You know, most of the things that we talk about on Sunday take practice and they take time. It's a journey. We have to remember that. It's an ongoing journey. So we keep practicing that we know to do. And one of the ways that we can become more practiced in our words being impeccable is to create a state of awareness about it for ourselves. Again, so many of the things that we talk about require us to be aware. Awareness is a huge tool. Stopping, thinking about your conversations with people, how they went, where could I have said something differently? Where was maybe my yes, not yes, and my no, not no, right? Did I agree to do something that I didn't really want to do? I should have said no. Thinking back over things, but it's a journey and it takes practice.
It does.
It takes practice. So, yeah.
It's easy to gossip.
No.
It's easy to point out people's flaws. That's the easiest thing in the world, because how many know we all have flaws, right? James, you didn't do that right. You didn't say that right. You didn't look right when you said it. As a matter of fact, I don't like you. Right?
Yeah.
That's the negative mind. That's that negative ego. It doesn't want anybody that is different. Doesn't want anything that's different. But how many know we're all different? We're all a bunch of uniques. You know what a unique is? It's a unique individual. You are the only you that there will ever be. And when you're gone, that's it. That's it. Yeah. So live your truth while you're here, because we need you to be who you are. We need you to speak your truth. We need you to stand up. Right? Mm-hmm. Rumi said, raise your words, not your voice. It is the rain that grows flowers, not the thunder. That's something to think about, isn't it? Yeah. Poise. Energy that is waiting to be released for a specific person or purpose. What is the purpose of your word? That's poise. I'm poised. I'm ready to release this powerful energy and speak a creative word in the midst of the chaos that may be going on, in the midst of the sickness, in the midst of the miscommunications, the misunderstandings. I'm speaking a creative word of peace and reconciliation, right? That is when you become a spiritual master. How many know that is where you're headed, right? Yeah. To be a spiritual master, a wise sage who can speak words of wisdom and intelligence and light and understanding. That's why we're here.
You know, last week I spoke about how I overcame anger and recognized that with that feeling, in the midst of that feeling, there's a breath. that can be taken, where you can make a choice about how you respond to something you're feeling. And it's the same way with being impeccable with our words. You know, sometimes we rush to make a rebuttal, or we rush to make a response. There's space there. Take advantage of that space. Stop and breathe and use that space to develop a response that's impeccable. Yeah. Don't be in such a hurry to say something.
I mean, right? you don't have to fill dead air.
No.
You're not on TV, right? It's
so
learning just to be with people.
Yeah.
Is very healing. Just to be, you know, just to be with somebody, because there's a healing taking place when you are with people in the silence.
Mm-hmm.
The silence. Because in the silence of the mind, then the energy of the Spirit rises. Jesus said, if two or more gather together in my name, in my nature, I am there. And what does the Christ do? The Christ is always healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's always loving. It's always speaking truth. It's always there to bring care.
Yeah.
Make sense?
And it's always okay to say, let me think about that. Or, I don't know about that right now.
Because that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know. Right?
Let me think about that. So, Khalil Gibran, in his book, The Prophet, said, when you meet your friend on the roadside or in the marketplace, let the Spirit in you move your lips and direct your tongue. Let the voice within your voice speak to the ear of his ear, for his soul will keep the truth of your heart as the taste of the wine is remembered when the color is forgotten and the vessel is no more.
Come to the quiet. Come to the peace. Let in the healing. Feel the relief. Be in the moment. Just take your time. This is the blessing, sweet peace of mind, sweet peace of mind, sweet peace of mind. This is the blessing, sweet peace.
Come to the quiet. Come to the peace. Let in the healing. Feel the relief.
Be in the moment. Just take your time. This is the blessing, sweet peace of mind, sweet peace of mind, sweet peace of mind. This is the blessing, sweet peace of sweet peace of mind, sweet peace of mind. This is the blessing, sweet peace of mind. This is the blessing. You're invited now to tune into that quiet space on the inside where the gentle waters flow. Peaceful, quiet. Knowing that in this peace, in this quiet, there is a discernible voice that you can hear if you pay attention. It is the Word. It is the very purpose for your life. The Word of God for you. What do you need to hear this morning? Is there an area of your life that you need to meet and to face, and to embrace? Is there someone in your life you need to forgive? Is there something that just comes up for you right now? Maybe it's something really good. Maybe a divine idea could come to you in this moment, in the peace and the quiet. Because when the mind settles, when it centers, it aligns with divinity and connects. There's a deep well inside of you. Just pull it up, whatever you need, allow it to come. And just breathe. Just breathe. If you know of someone that you'd like to hold in this sacred space, that you want us to be in agreement with you, all of us together, I invite you to whisper their names aloud at this time. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a situation, maybe it's an event that has happened or that will happen. Whatever it is, just speak it. Whisper it aloud at this time. And together we claim the presence of God. We envision beauty in your life, good in your life. the organizing power of Spirit, the activity of Spirit to bring about whatever it is that is needed. Whatever you need, whatever we all need as people, as a community, as a nation, as a world. There are things that we all need, and that's okay. So we pray the highest and best for each and every person, for every situation, for every event, for everything. Bring your family into this moment in peace and in love. Your friends in this moment. Think good thoughts. Send peaceful thoughts and energy to them now. Remembering your pets, your animals, loving them, appreciating them. Being appreciative of your income, your job, your career, whatever it is, your retirement. I'm so glad that I am where I am right now. I align myself with the truth of the moment. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And finally, I make this agreement today with myself, with God, and with others to be impeccable with my words, to be part of the solution rather than part of the chaos, to be an answer, to be a healer, to be light in the darkness. I make this vow today, and I trust that the energy and power of God, of divinity, is with me to lead me and to guide me the whole way. And I am grateful. I'm grateful. So let us consider our community here as we continue to reach out to others. Hold together with us that we have all that we need, that God is our source, our provision. We are grateful for the abundance. We're grateful for those that God has brought, for each and every one. We say, thank you, God. Thank you. So for a moment, let us wait in the stillness.
Each person is a spiritual being, made in the image and likeness of God, blessed with a variety of spiritual gifts we share in different ways. The world needs my unique contributions. When I see myself this way, I become newly aware of my value as a member of the human family, more confident in myself as I shine the light of God as only I can. Living in the awareness of my value helps others see it too. I leave behind critical or negative opinions I may have held about myself and treat myself as the divine being I am. Like a beautiful gemstone, I too am a precious jewel among so many others. Together, we sparkle and shine. And let's affirm together, as a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable.
As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. And so we say, thank you, Spirit, in the name of the sacred and the holy and the good. We say, amen. And so it is.
So it is.